Hello, I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. And just last night I saw Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. First, let me get something straight. This is one of my favorite Dr. Seuss stories. I know it's not exactly one of his most popular, but it's still much beloved in it by me and I'm sure by many other people. So had mixed feelings that they were turning it into a feature film. I mean, a lot of you have probably seen The Grinch or The Cat in the Hat, and you all know how well those movies turned out. From what I understand, Horton Hears a Who was a good movie, but I never saw it, so I can't comment on it. But The Lorax was actually a pretty good movie. I mean, well, let me talk about one piece at a time. I think it manages to capture the spirit of the Dr. Seuss book, though. Like I said, it's certainly better than the remakes of The Grinch or The Cat in the Hat. But is better than the TV special? No. Let me just get it straight. I'm not going to compare it to that because it'll probably just I'll probably just be disappointed. So let me avoid that part. But anyway, yeah, the movie was pretty good. One second, I have my notes here. Well, it was kind of preachy. I mean, it's an environmental film. It's an environmentalist animated film. What do you expect? But I don't think it's much. Doesn't get to like Fern Gully levels. It's still a very good movie. It still has and even if it is preachy, I don't care because it's a very moral message. It's a nice message to teach to, especially to young children. It's very good, though I will admit it did kind of remind me of Wall-E a bit, but which is probably a much better movie. But still, the message is pretty good. It's a little preachy, but it's a nicely put together film, so you don't care. Let's talk about the cast. You have Zac Efron as the main character, and Taylor Swift as the kind of unnecessary love interest. They did okay, but I always knew it's that thing where like with a celebrity voice you can tell that you can always tell that there's just you don't see the character, you just see them doing the voice of the character. Yeah, I felt that with Zac Efron and Taylor Swift and Danny DeVito as the Lorax. I could tell it was him, but but it's Danny DeVito. He's pretty funny, so I let it go. Now let's talk about the two best cast members in the movie. The best two are Betty White as the grandmother and Ed Helms as the Onceler. Betty White, let me just get you, I friggin' love Betty White. She is hilarious. And Ed Helms is too. He's pretty funny. They make the movie. Them and Danny DeVito as the Lorax. So yeah, the cast members are pretty fun. If not, well, not all of them, but they're pretty fun. Even the ones that aren't as fun as the others, they're still pretty fun. The music, I can't say they all left me humming except for maybe the Onceler's villain song. The rest I don't really remember that well. I mean, they were entertaining though, so they're just not it's not that they're bad or that they're not entertaining, they're just not that memorable. Now let's talk about the animation. The animation is very good. It's very bright, very colorful, and of course let me talk about the animals in the movie. The Barbaloots, the Swami Swans, and the Hummingfish. They were really cute and really funny. Though I can't help but feel they were trying to be like the Minions from Despicable Me, which I never saw, but I've seen enough of the Minions to know the comparison. But anyway, the animation is very good. And let's talk about the 3D. The 3D actually worked. I'm surprised, but I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I don't mean like I don't want to say it's like some of the best 3D I've ever seen, but for what it could have been, it was actually pretty good, necessary. I could tell things were flying out of me. It seemed like it was coming off the screen. It didn't seem flat. But yeah. The story, well, I have to say, one thing I didn't like is that the story was a little too complicated. Like, it was needlessly complicated. Like, the message was still there, but, like, it got a little jumbled in the book. In the original TV special, it's not an evil corporation that causes the pollution. Well, it is, but it's not because they're evil. It's because they're irresponsible, and they truly didn't know that what they were doing was wrong. I guess you kind of get that with the Onceler, but there's also this other guy named O'Hara who is pretty funny, but like who is the very typical evil businessman. Not a bad character, just I haven't seen, but like I said, the story isn't bad. It's just not as good as the TV special in the book had it put together. But overall, The Lorax is a very fun, cute, and morally sound movie. If you're one of those people who doesn't like environmentalists, you're probably not going to like this movie, but that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But for everyone else, check it out. I'd recommend it. I'm the universal critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Goodbye.